Hello vinyl freaks, it's the Danish record hunter here. And in this video I will tell you about an album that I just need to get out of my system. Because it's not an album that I feel like it's relevant to talk about unless it's December. And it's not an album that I feel like is doing a lot for me personally. But one thing I can say is it's a funny little release that I was curious about when buying it. And there is a little bit of good stuff on it, in my opinion. But maybe you will like it more than I do. And it's Hook Farm Julepladen. So, Hook Farm is a Danish record label. And they released a couple awesome and interesting records in the 70s. And they decided in 1976, let us release a compilation for the Christmas with our artists from the label delivering a Christmas song or two each. And this is not your usual Christmas album, because the bands featured here, not all of them you would expect to hear on the radio. It's some of them, it's like it's jazzier stuff. There's even like kind of a progressive psychedelic song on here, and it's funny to hear some of the bands trying to make a Christmas song in their own personal style, and so that's literally what is funny about this record. So let me tell you about the artists who appears on the album and what I think about the songs. So the first track that opens the record, it's kind of a rock and roll song. Not one that I am very fond of, but it's okay. It's by Fanden selv, and the song is called Sikke en voldsom trængsel og alarm. I don't know. It is what it is. I would really like to check out Fanden selv, because they released a 7-inch the year before this record in 1975. And I would like to hear what this band sounded like when they didn't do a Christmas song. And not that this song sounds like a Christmas track at all. I don't think so, but I would like to hear it. How they would sound like when they were not forced to do something specific, Next track, it's Himmelexpressen. Now, Himmelexpressen, they released probably my favorite late Latin fusion album in Denmark. And here the band is, and this record is just awesome. Great musicianship, like perfect drumming and guitar work, They could like do then some kind of Latin jazz and just jump into like some kind of heavy psychedelic soloing. I really like that album. And the song here, it's a traditional, not that I know about it. It's called Come and I Will Sing You. And I don't know if it's a traditional arrangement by Mehmet Ozan, or maybe arranged by Mehmet Ozan. Mehmet Ozan, he was a Turkish guitarist who immigrated to Denmark, and he did a couple albums like doing some kind of Anatolian fusion music. I don't have any of it in my collection, but I would like to check it out. So this is on my wish list. And then we have a duet by C.V. Jørgensen and Nis Piss Jørgensen. Now, many people they think that the two guys are brothers because of this song. I've seen that, but they are not. They just happen to have the same last name, and they come from the same scene in Lyngby. It's a city just outside Copenhagen. And yeah, Nis Piss Jørgensen, he was in Nis Piss band, awesome band, and C.V. Jørgensen, he also released many good albums in Denmark, and one of them I have here on Hook Farm It's the second album by C.V. Jørgensen. Unfortunately, there's no poster or postcards in my copy. Otherwise, it would cost a fortune. Mine was like the normal price. But yeah, the two guys, they were singing a duet called Dubletter, and it's actually one of the better songs on the compilation. Then the next track we have here, it's West 58 Street Stompers, and it's like a Dixieland jazz band. And yeah, it's they're doing some traditionals. One of them is Jingle Bells. Everybody knows Jingle Bells. You know, it's an international Christmas song. And also they did another one called Søren Banjemus. My whole childhood I thought Søren Banjemus is just a Christmas song. But it's actually also based on a melody from a Broadway play called Echo. And I think the original track was called Skinnamarink-a-doo or something like that. So yeah, also the song was then again interpreted in another version in 1969 by the Danish singer called Otto Brandenburg. And he made it into a children's Christmas song called Søren Banjemus. So that's the kind of Dixieland instrumental track you will hear on the album. And then we've come to one of the better songs on this compilation, and it's Velkommen Grantræ by Nekropolis. And Nekropolis is like this kind of progressive, folky band, psychedelic. I have not heard their full-length album, also from 1976. It goes for lots of money today. I see lots of different opinions about it. You know, some say that it's really not worth the money, and others, they are saying that it's quite cool and there's some cool fuzz guitar on it and nice drum fills, and so that sparked some interest in me. I would really like to check out the album. And the track here, it's not bad. It has this kind of more mysterious feel. And yeah, Nekropolis, they morphed into another band called Satyricon, and not the Norwegian band. It's a different Danish band from the 80s, and I talked about it in one of my earlier videos. It's quite interesting, this album. And then we have Dejlig er jorden by Natdamperen. And it's also a traditional. It's a Christmas song that everybody knows here in Denmark. And of what I know is based on a German melody. Natdamperen. It's kind of a jazz rock band, but in the vein of Nada, that I also talked about in one of my earlier videos. And so I think Natdamperen also has some links to the old Danish jazz rock band called Blue Sun. I think that the band also morphed out of that band. So then let's switch side to the B-side of Hook Farm Julepladen. So there we have Buffalo, What Kitty Needs. And Buffalo is a Danish country rock band. I have one of their albums here. Like country rock is not my thing, but I got to appreciate it for what it is when I started discovering the old Danish stuff that I'm talking about in my videos. And yeah, that song is not the best by the band. Buffalo, they actually made some good songs and with some great guitar work. They were like switching between some kind of funkier songs and then doing country rock. And they didn't sound very Danish at all. It sounded like they could have been from Texas or something. I would like to get some of their other albums, but they're cheap. So one day I will talk about Buffalo. And then we have another song by Tommy Liden called Julestemning. And Tommy Liden's original like Christian name is Tommy Johansen. And what I know, he was a member of a Danish psychedelic band called Poisons. Like psychedelic and beat music they did. And Poisons, they released, I think, only one 7-inch in the late 60s on the underground independent record label called Jackspeed Records. And in Poisons, you would also hear another Danish blues singer called Henning Stærk, and he went on to sing in Jackie Boo Flight. I will talk about those albums someday, very good ones. So, yeah, julestemning. I like that song on here. Especially if you understand the lyrics, it's kind of funny and it's just like it's hilarious. And the next song is Julerit by Flandert Berg. Julerit. It's like Marit, it's nightmare, and then Julerit is like Christmas mare or something like that. So definitely a more pessimistic Christmas song. And also Flandert, he was also part of the Lyngby scene along with Stebbe Jørgensen and Nis P. Jørgensen. He was also kind of in there. Along with Charlatan-gruppen and Blues Addicts, all those bands. Another artist I didn't talk about on the record is Christian Sievert. Like, he was kind of this Latin guitarist, like doing acoustic Latin music, Latin jazz, and he has a song called Samba La Amende. Sounding more Italian now. And it's a cool little instrumental. It's not doing a lot for me, but it's creating an atmosphere. Definitely not a Christmas atmosphere. It's more like going to Brazil or something atmosphere. So that's the material on here. So let's have a listen to some of the samples.
Når man ikke er en doven krop, står man julemorgen tidligt op. Klokken pimer, gaden er så glat, kirken lyser i den stille nat. Indenfor er sang og fest i fred, og man føler sig så bjældt og fed.
Du blætter alt, men hvad gør det? Jeg har ingen verdens ting at bruge dem til. Nej, jeg har ingen verdens ting at bruge dem til.
You
in the country, leave behind a life that I lead. Buy me a new car for Christmas, give Kitty all the things that she needs.
Kulørt og prægtigt julestads til nødder og konfekt og knas, og barnet utålmodigt længes. Det ved jo, at det snart skal hænges med julelys og englehår på træet, som i potten står. Velkommen jul igen til os. De bedste ønsker vi en grås på julekort hinanden sender, og julelysene vi tænder for vore børn. Hvor er der fred, mens disse langsomt brænder ned?
Hjem fra den jyske højderyg, kører med fuld fart på flade dæmme og føler mig utryg. Bilen begynder at skride, sidder fast i en snedrive, vejen var spejlglas.
So I hope that you like what you heard. It's definitely not an album that is high on my list of Danish records, but it's interesting because it is like Danish artists, which is not really pop, you know, and it's funny to hear them play some Christmas music and how it would sound like in their way of writing it. So interesting, and I don't think the whole album has been available on YouTube ever, so I will upload a full-length vinyl rip of it, and you will have some Christmas music for this month. So what can I say? Merry Christmas and see you next time, maybe in the new year. Maybe I will post something in like late December. So see ya and peace out.